I'm topping off some venison broth here in my cup. I'm sipping on broth because my stomach is not doing so well. Don't worry, it's not a stomach bug. I'll tell you why in just a second. But I was just going to mention, I love this stuff in my broth. Herbed sea salt. It has all organic spices and everything in it. Totally love it. Makes broth drinkable to me anyway. Hey, what's up, girl? Okay.
Watching a vlog.
Okay, well, have fun.
Yep.
All right, then. All right. So, first of all, today is my husband's birthday, so I want to give him a quick shout out. So, happy birthday, Jeremiah. You're the most amazing husband ever. I'm so blessed to have you in my life and have a husband that works very, very hard for his family. He's not afraid to put in extra hours to get things done financially and loves us all unconditionally and supports our dreams through all the stages. So, happy birthday, honey. Love you. So that all links back to my broth, guys. So my husband's birthday was today, but we celebrated this last weekend. Hang on, I'm gonna move you guys. Ooh, maybe I am. Hang on, there we go. Okay. So we celebrated this last weekend, and he wanted to go out to eat on a date for him and I. And typically, like, he knows what I will and won't eat. But since it was his birthday, I was trying to be extra loving and let him choose. And he chose Chinese, which I haven't had Chinese in like at least 4 years, you guys. It's been a very long time. So he wanted to go to this specific place, so we went. And I had the Mongolian like grill where you can choose what goes on it, which I like to know what's in my food. But you're still like adding sauces and stuff that aren't so good. But I tried to do as clean as I could. And we ate there. And to make a long story short, my stomach has been like super sensitive to spicy stuff since Saturday. So I'm trying to sip on some broth and see if I can get it to kind of calm down. I feel like the lining of my stomach is like really angry, which would make sense because I haven't had Chinese in, like I said, like 4 years. So not only was it spicy, which I absolutely love, but it had all of those other things in it that I haven't been exposed to in a very long time. So anyway, I'm going to be sipping on my venison broth while we cook tonight because my stomach is burning. So if you see me doing that, that's what that's all about. I also wanted to say that there's been a little bit of confusion on channel. I don't really know if this is like a legit person or not, but if you are a legit person, I at least want to take some time, just a few minutes here really quick in the beginning of the class and address your questions. Since you decided to delete your comment after we've gone back and forth for like an hour, basically the person was confused in watching my cavity videos and was confused as to why I am Weston A. Price. But in my cavity videos, I'm telling people that in order to heal your cavities, you have to go without carbs. They're also confused as far as, are you not eating any vegetables? Are you, and she just seemed kind of frustrated. So I just wanted to clarify, yes, I do understand Dr. Weston Price, studied Indigenous people. I'm actually a chapter leader for the Weston A. Price Foundation. For those of you who don't know, very familiar with Dr. Weston Price. And yes, I do realize that the Indigenous people that he did study had awesome, amazing health, and they ate carbs and sourdough and breads and grains. I get it. What I'm trying to say is today's mouths are much different than the Weston A. Price people that he studied. So when we're having healing issues, it's a balance on the pH scale, and it has more than just to do with the pH in your mouth. It's like a whole body pH, and if you look into it in your research, you'll see that there is a pH of the body, and when you remain on one side or the other, you're either in a healing side or a non-healing side. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, yes, I still eat vegetables. I do not eat carb-heavy vegetables that not only spike my blood sugar, but also push me onto the not so good pH side with my body as far as healing goes. You're trying to heal, so you need to alter your diet while you're healing. Now, Once my cavities are gone, yes, I plan to go back and personally eat sourdough and properly prepared things. I am not here to demonize carbs or sourdough or breads at all. I'm just saying that there is a time and a place for healing and making sure that you are on the right side of the pH scale when you're doing so. So that's all I wanted to say about that. All right, there was a comment I missed. I hope you guys all got your cookbooks, because if you haven't by now, then you need to email me, okay? Oh, Sharon says, got your cookbook last Friday and I love it. My menus for the week include some of your recipes. Yay! That was actually going to be the other thing I was going to tell you guys. Some of you guys have emailed me and emailed me pictures of you and your book, which is awesome, you guys. Or just reaching out to me and letting me know you got it and you love it. I put a lot of work into that cookbook. And yes, I know there's a big typo, okay? Here's the little alert. Yes, I was alerted that there's a major error into the cookbook. It is under sourdough tortillas. Unfortunately, the recipe for sprouted tortillas got copied onto the next page for the sourdough tortillas. There's nothing I can do about it, guys. That recipe is up here on the channel, so if you need to track it down, go for it, okay? But that I know there is, I'm alerted and I am aware that there is a big error into the cookbook. But anyway, what I was gonna say is a lot of you guys have been reaching out to me via email, and I have photographic memory, and so I love conversing on here with your comments, but there's a part of me that wishes I knew what you look like, just because that's how I remember people and remember things in my life. And so some of you guys have been sending me pictures of you and like your family or you in my cookbook. And just know that that means the world to me because of my photographic memory. But also I get to see the faces of the people I'm touching, which to me is like priceless. I just think it's absolutely amazing. And I feel so blessed and honored to be able to reach so many people through YouTube. Never would have imagined this. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Let's get cooking. We're going to make cowboy chili tonight. There's several different recipes for chili, guys. It's pretty much all the same ingredients, just a little bit different. And I like to switch it up for my family instead of having the same chili all the time. So we're going to do fermented cowboy chili tonight. So let's get started on it, okay? I'm getting all warm since I'm drinking all that broth. Woo! All right. Whoa. I gotta grab some butter. I'll be right back, guys. Got my butter. Okay, my butter from Azure Standard, just in case you guys are ordering from Azure Standard. I love this brand. It's actually grass-fed and totally affordable compared to the prices I'm seeing inside the supermarket. All right. So I got that big old stock pot back there. I'm going to be taking this recipe times 3, you guys. So I'm going to be adding a ton more ingredients into this pot than what I'm going to be telling you. I'm going to be giving you the ingredients. I think this serves about 6 to 8 people. So I'm going to be tripling it. I'm going to be freezing it. Just some days are crazier than others, and it's great to have freezer meals. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter into the pot and turn that pot over medium heat. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Hey Carl, I'm going to be ordering more cookbooks because I'm almost out. I'm almost sold out again, which is awesome. Thank you guys for your support. Okay, so I put my 2 tablespoons of butter in there. I'm going to grab a cutting board. And the first ingredient that we're going to put into our pot is 1 large onion, but I have these small onions, okay? Not even the size of your palm. So I'm going to do quite a few of them, don't get confused. So 1 large onion goes into the pot. I'm going to take another sip of my broth. If you guys have any other tips for an angry stomach from eating something you shouldn't have, let me know in the comments. Somebody said try Cayenne, because apparently Cayenne's supposed to reduce inflammation in the stomach, but I don't know. Like, I don't cheat very often, you guys, so it was a pretty big cheat for my poor body. I am regretting it now. And when I got home, I took activated charcoal. Like the second I got home, because I knew things were not good. Somebody else had advised me like slippery elm or whatever. Get some of that. I don't know. I was also going to give a shout out, you guys, because I just got done ordering my honey. Once again, I love that company. It's prairierockhoney.com. They ship all over the country. It's raw and unfiltered. It's only $40 a gallon, and they love their bees. So check it out. I usually order 2 gallons, and then you get free shipping over $50. But they also have things like honey cinnamon sticks and all sorts of things. Barbecue sauce, it's absolutely amazing. That you can have on gaps. Okay, that's huge. At least you could a few years ago. I'll put that little disclaimer. You could use their whatever they had for barbecue sauce on that website. How many years ago would that have been? 3 years ago when we were on Gaps. It was a total Gaps approved commercial barbecue sauce. Just sweetened with honey. It was amazing. But, like I said, check your ingredients. It's been 3 years. Don't send me any hate mail if it's not. But it was 3 years ago and it was amazing. And I talked to the owner of the company and told him how much I appreciated him selling that because it was Gaps Diet approved. And he, of course, wanted to know what Gaps Diet was. So it was a good little outreach. But he's a very, very nice man. He travels the country teaching people about bee care, which I think is great. He also works with a lot of the large retail beehives on the tops of their roofs, which I think is kind of cool. My eyes are starting to water from the onions. I got one more to go, but I'm going to wash my hands, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, and other really, really great news on the cavities, guys, is my one tooth. I haven't looked at them in like over a month since the last video. And today I just decided to look. I almost didn't want to look because I feel like they're getting smaller, but like they're not drastically getting smaller. So I just stopped looking because I want to stop like obsessing over it. So it's been a month since I've checked on them. And obviously I cheated with Chinese, okay? So I haven't been a perfect little angel. But basically my left tooth that I was sure was dead because it was 100% gray at the beginning of all of this. It was not gray like a couple weeks or maybe a month into healing. But then like the whole bottom of the tooth that you can see, it was all black. Like the whole thing was basically one huge cavity. I do have a filling, small, tiny, like pinhole filling in the back of that tooth, but the rest of it was just all cavity. And I went to go look today, and I still obviously have my little pinhole filling in the back, but now I have a little tiny pinhole cavity. So like the whole tooth has healed, the hole has healed, the tooth has regrown, and it's just down to one little pinhole black spot on my tooth. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to take pictures and do an update video. Don't worry. I just can't believe how fast they all of a sudden healed. It was great. Whew. See if I can like not cry while these onions are cooking. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. And don't worry, you guys hear the farm dog barking. He is barking at cats. He does not like cats, he's decided. So we get to listen to him excessively bark. So don't forget to keep your peelings and put them in a Ziploc baggie for your food. That's for all your broth making needs. We'll do that real quick here. Sometimes I do it, sometimes they go out to the chickens. But I just used up my whole bag when I made my big batch of venison broth. And so I need some more onions to season my broth up. All right, so I'm gonna leave this bag out though, because we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the peelings for the garlic. So, this would be where you're gonna go ahead and put in 1 pound of ground beef. I am not gonna do that step tonight, because I have a ton of cooked shredded venison that I'm gonna put in there. But if you're using ground beef, right now you would put in your 1 pound of ground beef and get that cooking as well. And then we're gonna add 4 garlic cloves to this pot. Hang on. Dakota, it's a cat. They live here. We'll see how long that keeps him quiet. I don't know about that. He just gets it in his mind he's got to bark at something, and I don't mind if it's like a raccoon or a coyote or, you know, something like that, but the cats kind of live here, so that can get kind of annoying. Alright, so I'm going to say this again. I know a lot of you guys are regular watchers know how to do this, but this is a garlic clove for those of you who don't know. Comes in a big bulb, and you break it off. And the little hard end here, we're going to go ahead and chop it off. It's very important that you use fresh garlic. And this skin is just going to pop off after I cut that hard part off. But sometimes you have to take a little knife and just kind of bop it, kind of put some pressure on it, and then the peeling will come right off. It's very important that you use fresh garlic, because not only does it have more awesome, amazing qualities for you, but the stuff that's already pre-peeled and chopped into the store has preservatives in it. So it's really about trying to keep your preservative load as low as possible. And one good way to do that is to make sure that you're using fresh ingredients when you cook. Does it take an extra few minutes? Sure does. But you're not absorbing all those yucky preservatives on a regular basis. I also had somebody ask or bring up the topic of like feeling like they're not enough because they can't afford 100% organic food, and I talked about this a while ago, but we don't buy everything 100% organic. If there's something that we can't, it's like not in the budget to do, we won't buy it organic. We do the best we can, or if I can't find it locally organic, I just buy the cleanest I possibly can. And I think that everybody needs to remember that we just have to do the best we can with what we have and where we're at. And stressing over not being able to buy something organic is also detrimental to your health. So we all got to do the best we can and be accepting of that, you know. Just be happy you're still cooking from scratch. I'm still chopping garlic cloves, guys, because remember I'm taking this recipe before, so I'm not out yet. But the amount for one recipe is only 4 garlic cloves. And I just keep stirring the pot there as it's sauteing behind me. So I've already started planning my Christmas meal. I'm not going to have a Christmas prep video though, because it's just going to be a simple meal. Our Christmas meal is usually really simple. We're going to make sourdough gingerbread cookies with my homemade cream cheese frosting, which is inside the cookbook. I think it's on page 154, but don't quote me on that. For the frosting. The cookies are not, because it's actually not my recipe. It's a recipe that I use every year. It's off of Pinterest for sourdough gingerbread cookies. And so I make it, and then we cut them all out, and then I make my homemade cream cheese frosting to go on the top to top them off. So we're going to do that, and then we're doing a ham and some scalloped potatoes and a nice green salad. So real simple dinner, real simple day. The stress is off. Thanksgiving is really the big pig out day for my family. And drink some more broth. I'm actually not even going to eat the chili tonight. The kids are going to eat it. Well, it has beans in it for one. But I'm not going to be eating it because, yeah, chopping onions will clear your sinuses every time. Exactly, Sharon. Because it's acidic. So I'm not going to have the tomatoes and stuff because I just don't think my stomach can handle it tonight. So I'm going to have to make something else for myself after the cooking class because I'm not going to dare do this. Yesterday, I made some delicious Cajun, it was like cheesy Cajun sauce. And for the kids, I poured it over noodles. It was really good. And for me and my husband, I poured it over broccoli. It was so good. But it was just slightly spicy. And see, my stomach started burning again. So I thought I better not eat chili tonight. Okay, so this is almost completely cooked. The onion is almost cooked. So the next step is going to be adding broth, which I made. So this is my homemade broth. This is what broth looks like when it's been stored into the refrigerator. Okay, just gave myself a bath. Okay, that's what it looks like when it's been stored into the refrigerator. And it's supposed to be gelatinous. That's totally normal. Not a big deal. I'm gonna wipe off my floor now. It's supposed to be gelatinous. That's a good sign. It means you made a good batch of your broth. No big deal. And it's ready to go. Once it warms up, it will not be gelatinous anymore. Also, completely normal. It means you made some good broth. And this, of course, is the fat on the top, which in a deer, this is deer broth. Venison broth is considered, it's called tallow, just like on a cow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the broth. The broth for one recipe is just 2 cups of broth. I'm obviously doing way more than that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move all of my ends and the peelings to the garlic into a baggie. Like I said, this goes right into the freezer. And it will wait until I have another big batch of broth going. And I'll just pull it out, add it to the water and the meat, apple cider vinegar, and then this all obviously gets strained out at the end of the broth making time. Okay, so we got broth in here. We'll go ahead and add, hang on a second here. I'm gonna go ahead and add diced tomatoes. So for one recipe, you need 2 15-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. This is Azure's brand, but really you can buy it anywhere. A lot of people say, oh, I look for the non-BPA lining, you know? And that's great, but a lot of companies went from BPA to BPS, which is like, I think it's either 5 or 10 times more toxic than BPA. So it depends on what the lining's made out of, I guess. But a lot of things are BPA free these days, and a lot of those companies just went to BPS. It's kind of sad. I gotta go grab one more jar of diced tomatoes. Don't know why I stopped at 2, but I sure did. You could also use stewed tomatoes too if you don't want chunks inside your chili. I'm gonna go grab one more jar, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, got the last one. So far in the pot, you would have had 1 pound of ground beef that you sauteed with 1 large yellow onion, 4 diced garlic cloves, 2 15-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. I'm just using a big 28-ounce can. And then you'd have 2 cups of broth. Okay, that's done. Next ingredient is going to be our soaked, fermented, and cooked beans. So I use an Instant Pot to do this, to cook them. If you don't know how to ferment your beans, I do have an entire video on how to ferment beans. It basically takes the gas out of your bean experience, which is great, but it also unlocks all the nutrients in the beans and removes the phytic acid, which is the coating that's within the seed, okay? So I'm just gonna add this slowly to the pot. These are already cooked. You sure could double the amount of broth and slow simmer this on the stove for 2 to 4 hours if you wanted. And avoid using a Instant Pot. You could also make this recipe in a crock pot and avoid using an Instant Pot. Both really great options. I don't use my Instant Pot that often. I do use it for cases where I'm cooking beans usually. Trying to use dried beans that I can properly prepare for my family, but also have it ready to go for dinner. All right. Hey, Judy. I love chili. Can hardly wait to prepare yours later this week. That's awesome. Okay, hang on. Carl says, I was in a larger city today and went to Target to find a stirring spoon you use that hangs on the pot. They didn't carry it. Any suggestions? Do you have a product code number? Let me look into that, Carl. If I can, I bought mine online, so it might just be an online deal with Target. Let me, when I get off the live, I will look into the lazy spoons and see if I can find a link. Because I love my lazy spoons. Love, 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 love. They come in a bunch of different colors, and it saves my flat top stove from disgusting messes. And especially when you're serving a crowd or a large family, they have a ladle. Let's see, do I have one that's clean? I do. They have the ladle version, okay? And I love this because it hangs here and waits for the next kid to come get seconds, instead of the kid flopping it down over here and putting chili over here, and then the next kid flopping it on the other side and putting chili on the other side, and the next kid putting it on the counter and getting chili there. They have chili everywhere. It'll just hang here and it just kind of like waits. I love it. So I will see if I can find a link to these, and if I can, I will put it down in the description box on this video, and I'll also email it to you, Carl, okay? All right, I'm gonna add my venison now. But like I said, if you're gonna do ground beef, you would have already had it in here. I was given this venison by our neighbors. I've got awesome neighbors. Her husband went deer hunting, and so she made the first couple of batches of broth and then gave me the rest, and so I finished making broth, and then there was a lot of meat in there, so I was able to shred it. It's going to be one heck of a full pot. Probably going to get like 4 gallons of soup out of this. But like I said, I wanted to be able to freeze this, so. Okay, so that's my meat, but like I said, you would be already having yours cooked into the pot. Now we're just down to seasonings. Super easy, guys. So we need 4 tablespoons of chili powder. Let's see. We have a tablespoon. Hey, we have a clean tablespoon. That's really exciting. I'm surprised William's not here to help. I bet you he'll come in now that I said something. I spoke it into the room. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more than 4 tablespoons of chili powder, guys, but your one recipe would be 4 tablespoons. There we go. You could also add green pepper to this. Like, I love chili because it's so versatile. Okay, so that was chili powder, 4 tablespoons. 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. I love chili, and it's like winter here, and we've got winter storms coming. So whenever we have storms coming, I make sure that we have food that's already prepared inside the refrigerator, because once we lose power, it's so much easier to cook off-grid on a wood stove with something that just needs to be warmed than trying to make a whole meal on a wood stove. Okay, so ground cumin is 2 teaspoons. So I've been doing a bunch of batch cooking because we're supposed to have up to a foot of snow by like the middle of next week. So two teaspoons of ground cumin went into the chili pot. We're going to go on to oregano leaf. We are doing 1 teaspoon of dried oregano leaf. But I'm going to be doing more, guys, because remember, I'm taking this recipe times 3. Don't get confused. Okay, and the very last, well, not the very last, but the second to last is cayenne pepper. Now, you can omit this if you want, because some people, you might not like spice very much. This is just a mild spice, but even sometimes people don't like that much. So if you're into the mildish spice for cayenne pepper, you're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just going to go with 1/4 for my recipe times 3 because William is eating this, and he's one of the only children that has a really sensitive mouth. I think it's actually because I ate too much spicy stuff when I was pregnant. Anyway, he doesn't care for spice at all. All right, now I'm going to find the salt, and that's our last ingredient. So we got healthy salt. Colored salt is healthy salt. And we need 1 teaspoon of healthy salt. But I'm tripling that, so there goes the other amounts. Okay. And then we're just going to stir this. And since the beans are already done, once this is heated through to your liking, you're ready to eat, which is awesome. Because there's really no more cooking that needs to be done. We sauteed our onion and everything else, so that's all soft. You guys can see, I'll bring you guys in a little closer in just a second. But this is a nice, thick, hearty chili. You sure could add tomato sauce or extra broth if you like a runnier chili. But we like our chili, you know, to put something on your bones, you know. So we like it to be nice and thick and not as brothy. You sure could add extra broth. You sure could add tomato sauce to this if you wanted to and adjust your seasonings. We just like a nice, thick chili. So there it is. I didn't get my bread made today, or we'd be eating this with bread. So this is going to warm up. And as soon as it's warm enough to serve, I'm just going to serve it to everybody. And dinner's already done. Isn't that something? Craziness. I'm almost out of broth, too, which is awesome. Because that means you guys have distraction when you drink broth, which is good. I typically do not care for broth, which is why I stick this stuff in there. And this stuff's not bad. It's just salt and organic herbs. Like, it's not bad, but kudos to who can drink broth with no seasoning, because I am not that person at all. At all. Okay, so we talked happy birthday, Jeremiah. This is today. We talked the cavity confusion. So if you are just jumping on, there's been some cavity video confusion about my recommendations on diet. So I addressed that in the beginning of this video. So that's something you're confused about. Why is Crystal saying no carbs? That's in the beginning of the video. I talked about where I buy my raw honey. It is Prairie Rock Honey. And you can buy it anywhere, prairierockhoney.com. But they sell it all over the place. But this is raw and unfiltered honey. And we buy it by the gallon. And then I just said thank you for all the emails on the cookbooks, you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. It's amazing to know I'm touching so many people, okay? Makes everything that I do so worth it. So one other little tip I wanted to give you guys before I leave is my seed catalogs have started coming. This is a company that I've been buying from for my garden seed for probably 10 years. It's a family-owned company. It's called Morgan County Seed LLC. They are in Missouri. And they have a nice little catalog on the front. There are no pictures. It's a non-fluff sort of deal. Okay. But you can get on their website, which is morgancountyseeds.com. And they have pictures on there. What I would advise you to do is to either look online or call them, which I can give you guys their phone number. It's phone number 573-378-2655. The reason why I'm telling you to call them is because you can request a free catalog and they'll mail one to you. And then you can look and write down exactly what you want. And then I would strongly advise that you don't order online and you don't send in this little mail-in form to order. I would call them to order. And the reason why is because they're right there. It's a family-owned business and they can tell you what is out of stock or how long you're going to have to wait until the seeds come in. Love this company. Now, I will say they do not sell everything organic. They have non-GMO seeds and organic seeds both available. They also have seeds that are treated. That's another reason why I like to call in, because they'll tell you right away, oh, that seed is treated. And you can say, never mind, I don't want it. But their prices are amazing. They always have been. I'm trying to find the green beans. Hang on. I'll give you guys an example. So like green bean seed, if I can find it. So organic golden wax beans, you can get 1/4 pound, which is a lot of seed, you guys. Like the stuff you get into the store is like not even an ounce, okay? So 1/4 pound of organic golden wax bean seed, bush beans, for only $5.80. And they sell all the way up to 50 pounds if you want it, of everything. That's for everything. So that was just an example for their bush beans. But their whole catalog is packed full of amazing seed deals. Just make sure you know what you're buying. And like I said, make sure you call them so you can find out for sure if the seed is treated or not treated. And you say that in the beginning of your call. They're after non-treated seed. They will tell you right away that the seed you're ordering is treated and you can go ahead and pass. But they have all their stuff on their website as well if you want to make your list and call in that way. I just ordered once online. I didn't like it because they're old-fashioned, you guys. So basically, they don't keep their website updated with in-stock and out-of-stock. And so it just kind of turns into a mess. So I would just recommend calling them. They're an amazing company to deal with. They're friendly when they answer the phone. And they ship things out right away. And they have a discount. It says right here, from December 1st, 2022 to February 20th, 2023, receive 7% off when paying with a check or cash, or 5% off when paying with a credit card. So you get a deal if you put in, if you order between now and February 28th with their company. So anyway, and she did say that they have a few seed shortages, but nothing out of the ordinary. So they got plenty of stuff that's in stock. So if you're looking for somewhere else to buy seeds, this is a great family-owned company. Amazing, affordable prices on seed. So there's that. And I think that's it. I'm so glad you guys jumped on tonight. And like I said, if you have not received your cookbooks, please email me. I will leave my email address down below, but it is abhomestead22@gmail.com if you have not received your cookbook, because everybody should have received their cookbook by now. And if you haven't bought one, I've got more available. They are $32, but that's including shipping. If you're a local, they're only $28 because I just take the price of shipping off. It's a great cookbook for gifts and everything else. I do have some available. I'm going to be putting in a whole nother order because they've been so popular. I don't want to run out. So I'll have some in stock. And so you can email me at that same email address if you're interested in buying one or 2 or 3 for gifts. And it has all of the recipes here on the channel, plus like over 100 more. Okay. So good deal. We'll get them out to you. If you have not received your cookbook, please email me. We'll fix it. Okay. I have tracking on every single book that went out, so we will find it and get it solved for you. Also, if you want to send me a picture of you with your cookbooks, that would mean the world to me. Like I said, I just love seeing people's faces. So, all right, guys, that is all there is to it. This is actually, look at it's bubbling. And I'm so glad you guys came tonight, and I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to stir this real quick. Thanks for jumping on. Sharon, thanks for being here, and Carl and Judy and whoever else is here. I bet you, Kathy, I know she's here and she can't comment. Anyway, thank you so much, all you guys who are on and joining me. And dinner is already finished. I can't believe it. So, all right, you guys have a good night, and I will put down another pre-scheduled event here on the channel. It's a little short. A pre-scheduled event here on the channel so you guys can click remind me with next week's cooking class, okay? So you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys next week.